You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome to the Love Coach Bruce Starr Show. This is going to be an incredible show, and you will be very glad you decided to listen in. When I first contacted my guest, K.C. Ali, Kalila Camacho Ali, the wife of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, with whom he had 4 children with, I had no idea Muhammad Ali himself would show up. Well, maybe not Muhammad Ali. He passed on just over a year ago. But Muhammad Ali Jr., who you will hear from, is a very talented young man in his own right. For one thing, he sounds just like his dad, Muhammad Ali. So Muhammad Ali Jr. will be doing a show with us along with his mom. You'll want to tell your friends to listen into this historic show. It will be one I will remember for a long time to come. Now let's get right to the Love Coach Bruce Starr Show with my special guest, K.C. Ali, and her son, the son of Muhammad Ali Jr.
My guest married Muhammad Ali on August 17th, 1967, when she was just 17 years old. That's a nice age to get married to.
Yeah, back in those days it was.
Exactly. You had 4 children with Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Say their names to me.
And it's Miriam, Rashida, Jamila, and Muhammad Ibn Ali.
And you had twins.
Yeah, that's Jamila and Rashida.
Which isn't that spectacular?
Yes.
And you are such an interesting lady because you have studied karate. You are an author, an actor, a pilot, that martial artist, and you're not just like a first belt.
No, I'm not a 9th degree Dan.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I started at 7.
You know, I knew that even just looking at you from across the room, I didn't want to fool with you, and now for so many reasons. I not only you probably have some boxing moves, but my God, martial art. You can take care of yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm a relationships person.
Yes.
We have. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We have Muhammad Ali Jr.
Hey, how you doing?
With us here as well.
That's the only biological son of Muhammad Ali.
So this is really something. I think the next time
that I know of.
I do a great impersonation of my father, too.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I'm a Muslim. That's my religion. My name is no longer Cassius Clay. Traps nothing against my religious belief.
That's spectacular.
Exactly.
Very, very good.
Wow,
scary a little bit, huh?
Me sometimes,
You think you're sitting next to him.
I had a whole lot of professional fights. But there's one fight I'll never do again. And that's with Khalil Ali. I said, what happened, Daddy? He said, he took my arm and threw me. And you don't know where she got the strength.
He wasn't supposed to tell nobody that.
That's not the first thing we were supposed to say on this interview. But I love it. I'll take it. So, I love the relationships part of life. I mean, that's who I am. Yes. I'm a relationships guy. I knew that when I first met you. I didn't know how it was going to happen or what was going to happen, but we just got along. I didn't know if you got along with everybody that way, but we got along, and it's turning out that we'll be able to, help each other and work with each other.
Definitely.
Would you please tell me about your early part of your life? Where were you? What were you doing? What was it like growing up where you grew up?
Yeah, well, I grew up. My mother and father, of course, were Muslims. They became Muslims back in the 40s. I was born in 50, so they was in the religion way before I was born, and they were servants that helped the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was the Muslim leader at the time, and under his philosophy at the time. So I kind of grew up in his home because my mother and father was working. So they said, well, I'll keep your daughter with my family, and when you get off work, you can pick her up at my house.
How nice.
And see, living with a leader with his grandchildren, it was a lot of dignitaries always at the house. And when I got old enough to serve food and everything like that, we had to serve the dignitaries that would come to the house. So I met a lot of leaders, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Wow.
I met a lot of people, Andrew Young. I mean, it was a lot of leaders of Ghana and people from the Colombia. I mean, there was a lot of presidents would come to see him. So I was able to, serve and meet a lot of interesting people. And I was also, by me being a martial artist, I got my first black belt when I was 7.
Oh, my goodness.
And I followed the Bruce Lee and everything. But during that time, I never wanted anybody to know what I do because I was the security for Malcolm X and a few others, and it wasn't to be known what I do, so they wouldn't be expecting me when they see me coming. So,
wow.
So it was interesting during that time.
So by serving these dignitaries, it was a lot easier for you to deal with celebrities and famous people as time went on.
Yeah.
So how
did you? It was a common thing for me.
How did you meet Cassius Clay?
So when I was 10 years old, I was an honor student at Muhammad's University of Islam, and as I was putting up the bulletin board, I was always, I was very active in school. We heard these people coming in the hallway. And I said, wow, it sounds, who's coming down the hallway making all that noise? And it was like these 2 tall men. They looked like gladiators. And I found out that they were some guests of the school. And we went upstairs, and I saw this young man said, I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world before I'm 21.
Let
Get
him
your
say
autographs
it
now.
I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world when I'm 21, so get your autographs now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was 18 at the time.
Wow.
And I was 10.
And he wasn't even in the Olympics or anything yet.
Yeah, he had just won the gold medal in the
Oh, my
Olympics. That's why he
God.
was there. And I didn't know anything about all that. So when he gave me the autograph, he signed it Cassius Marcellus Clay. And I go,
Oh, my God.
and I'm a Muslim, so I'm I appreciate Muslim names and names of culture, names of people who are with honor. And he said, my name, he said, here, little girl, here's my autograph.
Hold on.
Hey, little girl, this is my autograph. be important one day.
That's some scary stuff right there, man. I had to look twice. So, wow. So I said, your name is, I'm looking at it, it says Cassius Marcellus.
Yeah.
I said, do you know these are Roman names?
No.
Yeah, it's Roman names. You know what the Romans did to people?
No.
No, oh my goodness. And your last name is Clay. That means dirt you mold.
You said this to him?
Yeah. Yeah. I says, oh my God. And you proud of this?
So he must have fallen right in love with you.
Yeah. You proud of this?
Yeah.
Oh, there. I said, well, baby, I tell you what, you take this, and I tore it up in little pieces and put it in his hand and says, until you come back with a name of honor, a name of culture, matter of fact, a Muslim name, then we can talk. And I walked away.
This woman talking my name. Who's that woman?
I have this on tape.
And he
It's going to
was
be
like-
archived
I
forever.
can't believe she did that.
His eyes was huge. You know how the wolf and then the jaw hits the ground like that. You go, ah.
Nobody do that to me.
Yeah, he just never had it before done to it.
Wow. How interesting is that? And so what
He said,
happened?
how old are you? 10 years old? How could you be 20 years old talking to me like that?
A little bit big for your age.
Let's take a break from this very special show with K.C. Ali, the former wife of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, and his son and K.C.'s son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Don't go away. Stay with us for these brief but important messages from sponsors of this show, and we will be right back.
When businesses want short-term answers for problems they have not been able to solve on their own, they bring in knowledgeable, experienced consultants. Why not do the same for your long-term challenges and problems concerning love, sex, dating, and your relationships. An experienced relationship coach can help you through, understand, and cast aside fear and intimacy issues that have prevented you from having the happiness you deserve. You have worked long and hard and have everything but love in your life. Why not have your own relationship coach guide you through every step of the process that will bring you closer to having a soulmate in your life? Don't wait another minute to let go of destructive, unproductive habits to find love. Mention you heard this on my show and receive a free 10-minute consultation. Contact me at lovecoach@AOL.com. That's LUVCOACH@AOL.com. A relationship coach can help you have everything and love in your life.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Thank you for staying with us. My name is Bruce Starr. You're listening to the Love Coach Bruce Starr Show. I'm very excited to get back to the show with KC Ali, a former wife of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, and his son and KC's son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Let's get right back to talking with them.
Yeah, I really don't want to spend too much time with any callers, but because I want to be here with you. Yeah. But we're going to take James.
Yeah.
James is on the phone.
Is James on the phone?
James on the phone.
Goodness, that's great.
Let's say hello to James. Welcome to the show, James. You're listening to the Love Coach Bruce Starr Show, and we have KC is in the house with Muhammad Ali Jr.
How y'all doing?
Fine.
James, my man.
That's James Hunter. Great.
Definitely.
Great producer.
It's a pleasure to talk to y'all today.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on with you guys. I want to hear from you.
Tell him, James. Go ahead.
Well, we're putting together a feature film titled Colorblind, and it basically tackles the question on whether racism is something that you're born with or if it's something that's learned, that's taught. And we have a unique approach to it. You know, as I don't think I've ever seen it in a movie before. And we think it's going to change a lot of people's minds and open a lot of people's hearts.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary film. And James and I met James last February when he did another film called The Turnaround. And James, how many awards did you get on that film?
We got 2 at that particular film festival.
Mm-hmm. And in all, how many you get?
Altogether, it was 2. We was nominated for 6, and we got 2.
Okay.
So the film is in the can. It's are you editing or is it ready to?
It's in this production stages right now.
Pre-production.
Oh,
okay.
And Mr. James gave me the honor to be an executive producer on the film. One of the executive.
Yeah, but the honor is all mine. Trust me.
And where are you going to shoot this, James?
We'll be shooting in Florida and maybe some of it in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. You know, my background is entertainment. I've been in the entertainment industry out in Los Angeles in production since 1981. So if there's any way that, I can give you some advice and counsel, I'd be glad to. But I want to thank you so much for calling in. And,
definitely.
I would love, we're going to do another show with KC and Ali Jr., and there's just no doubt about it. But I really have so many questions I want to ask KC. If you don't mind, I'm going to say goodbye now, and I want to thank you so much for listening and calling into the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to Miss Ali for being a part of the project and even believing in the vision, because we're about to make history with this.
Exciting stuff.
Fantastic.
I want to learn and hear more about it as time goes on. And
James, you're the greatest.
That's exactly what we'll do. I'm so glad Junior came along. This is great.
I had to bring him for you. I wanted to surprise you.
I told you I shall return.
Oh, my God. So I know that Mohammed passed on in this last year.
Yeah, matter of fact, he passed on June the 3rd of 2016.
June the 3rd.
And my father passed June 2nd, 2017.
Oh, my God,
I'm
sorry.
And my father used to call him Nassau Daddy. They were very close, and they both were born in January. They both died on a Friday. They both died in the month of Ramadan, and they both died of Parkinson's disease.
So, again, there's so many different things I want to ask. So now you're bringing that up. Mm-hmm. How many years was it where Muhammad Ali was really not able to communicate and really not able to get around?
Now, you're talking when he wasn't on my watch. When I had him, he was perfectly healthy. There was no signs of that at all. When I divorced him a few years, maybe 5 years later, then he would call and he would like...
And what would he say?
He would like...
What's happening?
I said, Muhammad, what's wrong with you? Why you can't talk?
I'm sick.
He's sick of who?
You.
Yeah.
He's the most beloved man in the world.
Yeah.
Ever, maybe the second most ever.
Yeah, well, I helped in that process.
And that's a question I have a little bit further down here.
Okay, down the line.
So it's one thing to be loved and respected. It's something else to be the second most loved and respected person of all time.
Who's the first?
Well, I mean, Jesus. Some people would say he was.
I was just going to say,
okay.
man.
Okay. So my question for you is,
yes,
how different was he away from the cameras?
Okay. Basically, he listened to me a lot. He did a lot of listening to me because there was a lot of learning from him, and I was trying to, school him on the education of the religion in basics. Of course, I was still learning myself. But when he's off camera, he's just as witty as he is on camera.
Great to hear.
He's basically always the same. He don't talk as much because he doesn't have a challenge. He likes to surprise me and joke with me, and we had a lot of fun together, looking at movies and stuff like that. So he was basically the same. The way he was outside, he was the same inside.
So when he was outrageously making statements and saying bold things, just like you heard about as an 18-year-old, how did that affect you when you heard someone being so bold and brazen, and of course being able to back up everything he said?
I kind of admired it because I was like that in school myself. Matter of fact, when people saw him in my school, they assumed that he was related to me because they knew me, but they didn't know him. And the way he spoke out so profuse and just spoke out boldly, they said, "Is that your brother or something?" And everybody thought he was related to me because that was my same character. It's uncanny the way the comparisons are almost similar.
Let's take a break from this very special show with K.C. Ali, the former wife of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, and his son and K.C.'s son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Don't go away. Stay with us for these brief but important messages from sponsors of this show, and we will be right back.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Thank you for staying with us. My name is Bruce Starr. You're listening to the Love Coach Bruce Starr Show. I'm very excited to get back to the show with K.C. Ali, a former wife of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, and his son and K.C.'s son, Muhammad Ali Jr. Let's get right back to talking with them.
So do you think like an outer energy took over when he got in front of people and was just...
Well, you know what? If Muhammad, he'll sit down at home and he would think about what he's going to say and try to understand what what's the reason of whatever is happening. He asked me, why did they say that? And what would they say this? And why would they say that? And then when I would explain it to him and he got it, then he could just, he'll just rip it right up and be bold enough to just speak it out. Anytime he understands something, he will mimic. He will mimic everything I say about it in a loud voice, and he would be sure of himself. His confidence was already risen up. So by the time he got out, he was able to just speak out. And
I'm the greatest,
and
I knock out all bombs. And if you get too smart, I'll knock you out.
It's like he's right here next to us.
Exactly. That's really
and
creepy.
There's so many things that we definitely have to have you back again.
Yes,
Hopefully it wasn't too far a drive, and it means a lot.
We go to the ends of the earth to come to see Bruce Starr.
Well,
you shall return.
That's very nice of you. We only have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And so the last question I want to ask you this time is, I understand what he learned from you.
Yes.
What did you learn from him? What did you take away from him?
Well, the only thing that I learned from him is that
it's nice to help people.
Yeah, he helped people. He loves people. But I know about that. I grew up that way. But the best thing that I learned about it, he enjoys being out there. He enjoys being who he is. He enjoys knocking people out. He enjoys intimidating people.
Wow.
He really enjoys intimidating people. That was one thing I learned from him. To half the fight is psychological, and he knew how to go.
Ain't she pretty?
He would always tease me like that. And like if I was driving in the car and we was going to a college or something that I set up for him, then he would, I would say, okay, Mohammed, I would read the maps and everything. He wasn't really that educated. So I would read the maps and I would go to sleep for about an hour. And then I'd wake up and go, Mohammed, where are we? He said,
we lost.
We lost. That's what he would say. He'd say we lost. And I said, Mohammed, I was only asleep for an hour.
You've been lost for an hour.
That's what he would say. Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Incredible.
I cannot believe
it's snowing. I can't see.
And then one time we was driving in the snow, and I saw the road to the left, and I go, oh, my God. And I didn't want to freak him out. And I said, Mohammed, be calm. Where's the road? He said, we on the road. Ain't we on the road? We on the road?
We on the road.
Yeah, but Muhammad, look over to your left. And then he slammed on the brakes and dug us in more.
Goodness gracious.
And then he would hit the door and think he bumped over, like he ran over a cat or something.
Casey Ali.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali Jr.
You know what? I got a life story coming out next year. I'm going to tell it all about.
You're going to come back on.
I'll be back on.
There's no way that we can get it all done.
Yeah.
We have to cut the show off. You're listening to the Love Coach Show, Coach Bruce Starr Show.
Before I got to Kalila,
06.9 FM. We can go on forever. Thank you so much. We're going to say goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's Love Coach Bruce Starr Show with my very special guest, Casey Ali, Kalila Camacho Ali, a former wife of the greatest boxing champion of all time, Muhammad Ali, and their son, Muhammad Ali Jr. I hope you will tell your friends about this fascinating inside look into the life of Muhammad Ali, a side very few people in the world had an opportunity to observe. If you'd like to contact me about this show or future show ideas, email me at lovecoach1, that's L-U-V Coach1, @gmail.com. If you'd like to ask about one-on-one relationship coaching sessions to help you in your dating and love life, if you'd like to attend a Love Coach Speed Dating Circle or a Love Coach Executive 3-day weekend at a luxury resort, contact me at lovecoach1, L-U-V Coach1, @gmail.com. Until next time, thank you for listening.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.